Should voting in elections be mandatory?
No, it's your own right. If you want to vote, vote. If you don't, that's okay too.
Well, I guess nobody should have to do anything they don't want to do, but I think it's better to go.
It would certainly help get the public out if it was mandatory. However, it is taking away people's freedom.
No, I think people should be given that choice. There are people who choose to be apolitical, but I think being apolitical in a time of crisis is indirectly supporting the crisis. So I think people should come forward and take a stance in that cases, but I think people should be given the chance to choose to cast their vote or not. But I think there are ways in which we can improve the number of voters that come forward every election by increasing awareness and such. But I think people should be given that choice.
Yes.
Why?
Why? Because democracy should be respected by all. And you know what? We're a great country, and we should all be stepping up and putting our vote forward. You know, we all have a choice. Get educated, do your part, and have a vote.
Yes. No further comment.
No, absolutely not. I think people should be free to decide whether or not they want to vote. Many times, I mean, as a Canadian citizen, you may have come across many elections wherein the candidates are absolutely horrible. And, I don't think every single citizen should be mandated, should be made to vote, because they may very well think that the politicians who are, the leaders in a particular constituency or for any federal election or provincial, whatever, I don't think they should be mandated. I don't think they should be forced to vote for them, because, right now, I know many people, Canadian citizens, who think the current federal leaders from every single party is horrible. So if we made voting mandatory, you'd essentially be forcing people to make decisions that they absolutely hate, and I don't think that's good.
I don't know. I mean, I would like to say yes, but I think that if it was mandatory, then a lot of people that are not educated on the election would end up voting, and I don't know, that could get messy. So, no. I think that should be freedom again to be allowed to vote if you don't want, or not vote if you don't want to.
I absolutely think yes. I think it should be mandatory. I'm not Canadian, I'm a permanent resident, so I'm not a citizen. I can't vote, and it kind of saddens me because I've been living here for 10 years and I don't have the right to vote. And I feel like I contribute enough. I pay my taxes, I work, I do everything by the book, and yet still I can't vote. And I would love to. I can only vote whenever I get the citizenship. Before that, you're not allowed to vote. So unfortunately, I can't participate in any elections.
I think it's always important to use your opinion when you can have it, but I also don't think it's something that you can force upon people. I think it should always be encouraged, and that goes back to education as well, and making sure that people are educated in schools on their options in voting and where they can vote and how they can vote and things like that. But it's not something you can force. It's a part of Canada being something that you can do as your free will and things like that. So I think it just goes back to education and people knowing their options and how they can educate themselves on who they're voting for and when they can vote and where they can vote.
I like the idea behind it. I don't trust it not to be weaponized in some way that's not going to affect minorities or people who are disenfranchised. I like the idea of it. I don't trust it to be implemented properly. That's really my answer, which is not helpful.
Well, it's a right, it's a privilege. We cannot impose this right onto the people, but every single citizen must be aware of its right that was so fought after and earned by our forebears.
I think voting in elections is valuable if you have an informed electorate. So that's one. I think elections should be tied to voter accountability. So once you elect, you're not off the hook. So if you do elect, I think you elect, but you sign up to provide feedback and accountability to politicians. So don't go to sleep at election, elect and then go to sleep, but elect and step up.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I think everyone should give their voice and share their opinion. I don't think you should be able to complain about the political situation if you don't vote. In Canada, you get the right to vote, so why wouldn't you?
I also don't really know much. I have no really opinion, I think, but I would say yes, because I do think it's important that people express, I guess, what they want. And I mean, it's important that everyone does vote because it does make a big difference in the end. So yes, I guess.
If you're not interested enough to vote, and if you're not interested enough to find out what's happening in our current politics, then you shouldn't vote.